point is what should start this interview. There it is. Welcome to the interview, you guys. I am Brandon Arroyo. This is the Arroyo Show. If it's your first time here, please give it a little thumbs up and consider giving it a subscribe. Or don't. If you didn't like the video, that's fine too. It wasn't on these two's account. It was probably my fault because the Wilking sisters are probably some of the most exciting dancers that you have on TikTok. Right? Meow. Yeah. Miranda, Melanie, how you guys doing this morning?
Great. How are you doing?
Good.
I can't complain. I like the denim thing we got going on right now.
Oh, I know. We totally planned this. I'm sorry.
That's why I'm in the middle.
It's like a denim sandwich.
We're in formation.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, the sister thing just happened.
Right,
First time of the day, I have a feeling it's not going to be the last.
Definitely.
We're out here in Los Angeles, California right now, Hollywood, the city of entertainment. It's where you gotta go if you want to get into dancing. Well, not necessarily. You can do it anywhere in the country, but it's a little bit easier out here. Not easier, but there's
more opportunity.
More opportunity, yeah.
For sure.
Let's take it back. Let's take it way, way back to a little cold state called Michigan that looks like a glove. So cold they made it look like a glove.
Exactly.
Michigan, where did the dancing start? I believe you guys were about 2 years old when you first
Yes, we were just itty bitty babies going to baby ballet class.
Yeah.
And then, our parents would always ask, like, oh, do you want to try a sport? Like, do you want to do something else? But we would have to cut back on dance a little bit. And we're like, nope. We want to keep dancing.
So
like,
we stuck
keep
with
dancing.
It. Yeah, we grew up going to a dance studio all our lives and trained in ballet, contemporary, hip hop. We did everything. We did competitions, recitals, all of that. And then our dream was always to move to California to pursue it even further. And that's what we did.
Now, and I believe you were the first one to come out to California, correct?
Yes.
And did you go to Pepperdine University or were you just instructing there a little bit?
No, we just instructed there. Yeah, we taught their dance team.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which is really cool.
I
was
know.
like, if I went here, I probably wouldn't get any work done because I would just want to look at the beach, and it's so beautiful.
There is clearly a very strong connection between the two of you. What was the time period like while you were still back in Michigan and your sister was out here in California?
It was honestly weird.
Yeah, it was very weird.
We didn't really talk that much, which is hard to believe.
I know.
But I mean, we would still talk because our family is really close. So,
Right.
I mean, every day my mom would call her, and so I would just be in the car or whatever and still talking, but we never really talked.
Yeah, I almost felt like if we talked
just
to each other, then I would realize that we're so far apart. And it would kind of like hit me,
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, ooh.
Yeah, and we still saw each other a lot. Like, my family and I would come out to her, or she would come home. But it was just not, I don't know, like, it was just kind of hard to believe that we didn't really talk that much. But then whenever we got back together, it was like
we
nothing.
never left.
Yeah.
we never left each other.
Yeah.
So take me back in time. What was it like growing up with the two of you guys in the home? What Thanksgivings were you guys dancing in the living room? What was it like?
Well, at every family party, so our parents built a little dance studio in our basement. So every family party, anything that was at our house, we always choreographed some kind of show. And we always called them down in our basement at the end of the night to just like give them this big performance.
Yeah, and we would get our cousins involved and stuff who like weren't really dancers. I mean, a couple were, but we're like, you're gonna be in this routine.
And they're like, oh my gosh.
So
But we're like, we've got to make this show happen,
So yeah, always, every party. Like,
Yep. Always choreographing something, getting our family involved.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
So then clearly your family was very supportive of the dance.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, it definitely didn't come out of nowhere. It was like they already knew. And luckily our parents are both teachers, so they have the summers off. So as we got a little older, we would come out to California sometimes for like conventions and stuff like that for dance. And so whenever we would come out here, I mean, we all loved it. We were all like, oh, I think we're going to live here someday.
Yeah.
So they set it up. They're the ones who did this, okay?
Right. They built this beast.
Is there have you guys ever tried like a competitive dance-off? I mean, stomp the yard style, sister versus sister.
Oh,
No, we haven't. That would honestly be kind of fun.
That would be great. Let's do it.
That would honestly be hilarious, I think. I don't know if we could be serious, like looking at each other.
If it ends up happening, I want to be there. I want to watch it. I'll buy a referee outfit.
Yeah,
I'll
you'll be
stand
the
there with
first
you
one we
guys.
call.
That would be awesome.
All right, so when you guys first get out here to California, it's like it's like being a big fish in a small fish in a big pond. There's so many dancers. There's so much going on out here, and especially when you come from another part of the country, there's people who have been dancing with each other since they were 5 and 6 years old. Now you jump into this. What were your first steps when you first got out here to Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Well, the studio that we trained at a lot is called Millennium. And so I moved really close and I could walk there. And I did probably 3 or 4 classes a day, just training. And I really got to know a lot of people at the studio, and that made me feel a little more comfortable because we have been training there for so many years throughout the summers, you know, a couple weeks at a time. So I did know some people going into it. So I feel like when I made the move, it made it a little easier because I already knew some people there. But I did 3 or 4 classes a day, just training all the time, and I was just really focused on dance. And then when Melanie moved out, we were still really focused on dance, but we came across TikTok, and that kind of took over.
Yeah, and even back to just when you were out here, I feel like because she spent so much time just training and everything like that, opportunities came to her that, like, people just watching her in the studio, look, oh, can I hire you for a show? Can I do this, do that? And then that helped me a lot when I came out here because she already had
those
quite a few connections.
And it was really cool because I had a really great mentor who I was taking her class all the time, and one thing led to another, and the studio saw me just kind of like assisting her in like different classes, and they asked if I wanted to have my own class. So I was teaching there for probably a couple years, and when you came out, you started teaching with me, and we were doing like a sister class. So a bunch of people came to take the Wilking Sisters class, and that was so amazing.
That was really cool.
Yeah, so we did that for a long time, and
then
yeah.
Social media came into play because it's like
around the corner.
when we came out here, we had Instagram, but it was just because everyone had an Instagram. And then we realized that, or you stumbled upon Musical.ly at the time.
Yep.
And then she was making the cringy, like, selfie videos.
Just to be silly and funny.
And I remember she was like, look at this video I made. And I looked and I was like, you cannot put that out there. I was like, do not post that. I was like, I get where you're going with this, but no, like, we can't do that. So then we just started dancing on the app, and then that took off, and then it changed into TikTok, and that's just been taking over our lives.
But you know what, that's an interesting thought, because there's so many people that even now looking at TikTok, I mean, TikTok has blown up. It's one of the largest apps in the world, but there's still so many people that say, oh, I'm not going to do that. I'm a serious actor. I cannot be that. I'm a serious musician. I cannot do these things. Apparently they're French, everybody that's looking at it say that. So, but it seems like TikTok is the app where if you could just embrace being yourself, embrace the cringy parts of yourself, you can really develop a following on there. I think that's one of the great things about TikTok.
That's what we absolutely love, and we always say that because everyone asks us, like, what makes TikTok better than Instagram? And we're like, it's not necessarily better, they're just different. I feel like Instagram is professional, and if you want it to be a business or something like that, then that's amazing. But then TikTok is where you can just be goofy and crazy and totally yourself. So that's why we love it.
I know.
It's really cool. So now TikTok has been growing, obviously, since Musical.ly. What are some of the biggest differences you've seen in TikTok since you first joined it a couple years ago as Musical.ly to now being TikTok?
Well, I definitely feel like when it was Musical.ly, there were definitely people that were pushed to the top, you know, and I feel like now, I feel like anybody can really go viral.
Yeah, anyone.
You post a video being yourself, and millions of likes and views will come. Like, it doesn't matter who you are.
Also, I feel like TikTok is more driven on original content. I mean, people do like the same renegade dance and stuff like that, but there's also those videos where it's just like you at home with your family and something crazy happens, whereas Musical.ly was a lot of lip syncing and transition videos and stuff like that. So I feel like they're gearing more towards original content, comedy, stuff like that.
Again, just being yourself.
Yeah, that's something really cool that I think, as much as Instagram, not to say anything negative about any sort of social media app, but I do think that Instagram, you can sort of, it rewards, you know, the photo editing, the creating sort of a persona that isn't necessarily there. Whereas with TikTok, it embraces more the get the dork out of you, you know, get which I really like about TikTok.
I know, and I feel like a lot of people take TikTok so seriously. because we've noticed that when we, like collab with people, which is great because you want it to look really good on your page, but also we'll do a dance a couple times, and if it's like, okay, it looks pretty good, we'll move on to the next thing. It doesn't have to be so perfect. And you don't have to stress about it. It's just for fun.
Whereas Instagram, if we're doing an Instagram dance video, you might have a videographer, you're gonna have it edited, you're gonna have all of this. So you want it to be perfect, but then TikTok is like, oh, something went wrong in the video? Awesome. Like, that's what you want.
Yeah, people will comment and it's funny, you know?
Yeah, like, oh, she messed up, and we're like, yeah, awesome. Like,
yeah, I totally messed up, but oh well.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, it's just fun.
Yeah.
I think a lot of, especially TikTokers out there that are trying to grow their audience, are curious, what is the difference between having, a couple hundred or a couple thousand followers versus when you do hit that 1 million mark, or when you hit that 2 million mark, or what has been the biggest difference for you guys, or has there been any difference?
Honestly, we just post just to post and have fun, but when we hit like the 1 million mark, it was kind of unbelievable. Like, people actually like to watch us.
I know, like
really?
I think also it was when we got in the higher numbers, it was like, whoa, we can make this a job. Like, we can actually do this for a living, which is crazy because it just started as, and it still is, just us making fun videos with each other. Like, that's just what it has started as and what it has become. And it's just really awesome that we can make that into our everyday job. Yeah. And I think that's what we've seen as numbers grow. It's like, whoa, this is actually a real thing. And
this is working for us.
Yeah, this is working for us. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah. What advice do you guys have for dancers that are just starting to come up right now?
Just stick to it. Just do what you love. Don't think too hard about it.
And just put stuff out there. I think
be consistent.
Yeah, and be consistent, because I've had people text me like, oh, what do you think I should do about this? And it's like, well, you haven't posted anything. So if you're wanting to collaborate with people and stuff like that, they're going to want to see what you do. And if you don't have anything, then they're not going to, how are you going to grow? So just put content out there. I mean,
see what works for your page. Try some different things.
We're even doing that too, where it's like, okay, well, we love fashion and we love like food vlogs and stuff like that. So we're trying different things and seeing if people like them. And even if they don't, we're like, okay, well, we like it, so we're going to post it. So I think just pushing content out there is...
And a lot of people too, if a video doesn't work for them, they take it down right away. And for us, it's like, we leave it up. Who cares? If you scroll through and look back at it weeks from now, it'll make you laugh or whatever.
There's so much that goes into a video working or not working. I always tell people the story. The first video that I had that had gone viral was a video that I had already posted earlier in that day, and it didn't work earlier in that day, and I just kind of trimmed it a little bit, put a different music bed behind it, and that same video was the first video I had go viral. So it might not even be your content. It might just be the time of the day or the first 100 people that saw it, or, it's such a small number.
100%.
Yeah.
It's a trial and error.
Yeah, so that's a great tip, is try reposting it.
Yeah.
I mean, for sure.
Go check them out, the Wilking sisters. All of their info is in the bio below.